What more can you tell us about what went into this decision for Peyton?
Well, if you know Peyton Manning, you know it's a very thorough process, detailed process. We think it was taking too much time, but when you think about it, he was released by the Indianapolis Colts less than 2 weeks ago. So he goes from being fired by the Colts to now being in contact with a dozen teams, some by phone, some in person, visits, workouts, physicals, continuing to rehab. And finally, it was really just a matter of, as some teams eliminated themselves, as you know, such as Arizona when they had to make a decision on Kevin Cobb, it came down to the three teams, the Broncos, the 49ers, and Titans. And I think it was just, it felt like the safest choice, the most comfortable fit, and all three had something in common, which is they all had real football people in leadership positions. In Tennessee, you had Mike Munchak, Hall of Famer, as their head coach. And in Denver, we know about John Elway, Hall of Famer, who won his Super Bowls late in his career. Even though he went to 5, he only won the 2 late in his career and wasn't fully healthy either, by the way. And then San Francisco, obviously, Jim Harbaugh played quarterback for 14 years. So all of them had a lot of common denominators.
The one thing that the 49ers, at least news of the 49ers being involved, got out on Friday. The Denver Broncos, that was the first team he went to visit. We saw them all arrive Friday at Duke. Everybody they could, every bold-faced name in the Broncos organization was there to watch him work out in Duke. What was it about Denver right away that he seemed to gravitate toward the Broncos?
Well, his first visit was made to Denver because of the familiarity with John Elway and even knowing John Fox, because since he'd never been a free agent, you know, he'd never done this, and he hadn't visited any other facility, really. You know, the Miami Dolphins he had because he played 2 Super Bowls down there. You know, let's go to a place where I'm familiar with the people there, so part of this first visit is not going to be getting to know everybody. I already know these people. So I think that was one reason. Now, he stayed a day and a half there, and everybody thought it was simply being with the Broncos. As it turns out, he was going to a park to throw with Brandon Stokely, who lives there, former teammate. He was, you know, he was busy doing other things as well before he headed to Arizona. But the Broncos, when they showed up at Duke, what they were doing was basically, that was Peyton Manning who insisted upon throwing for all the teams. All the teams had watched really extensive video, not the YouTube video, and they had basically, and once their doctors had examined him, they basically had said, hey, you're good to go. But he thought it was important for the integrity of the process. I mean, you can't sit up there at a press conference and say, ask the question, you know, somebody asked the question, did you see Peyton work out? And you say, no, but we were satisfied. So they went and saw him throw. They were satisfied. The doctors passed him on the physical. And then it was just a matter of going through his final process of consulting with the people he consults with and probably asking a few more football questions. And you know, so now the best thing right now is we have a decision. I think that was it, by the way. There was not a slam dunk decision. I think it was just, let's make a decision and make it the best decision.
Bill Polian was surprised he made it this early.
Well, listen, I mean, there was a story in the Tennessean newspaper. David Clymer had written a story about even when he decided to stay at Tennessee for his senior year, how he's very capable of keeping things as secretive and surprising as possible. And so, you know, Peyton has a way of doing things his way, but it's very detailed, it's very thorough. And even though people thought it went on a long time, like I said, when you consider everything he's gone through the past less than 2 weeks, we got this decision. That's not bad, and the Denver Broncos fans obviously are going to be happy, Tim Tebow notwithstanding.